robbed this guy's story. Wait, what was it?
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, did you guys check out that video I sent?
The racist one?
With the racist rant?
Oh, absolutely.
That was
Yeah,
intense.
absolutely.
I actually didn't watch it. I just saw it.
What? Really? Someone told me that they knew the guy at work. Like, it's one of his friends. He's getting married soon.
But all I saw was like, you know, I saw yellow bus poles and I'm like, yo, this is fucking Toronto.
Was it? It wasn't.
Was it?
I didn't look like the rest of the bus.
It was Center
It
Island.
was Center Island.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I think that's like pretty close to Toronto.
Wait, not with
That
not with the Brown family. Not that one. The one on the bus. Like I
The
sent you
lady
guys that on
the bus?
Instagram with the lady.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
The one on the bus with the lady.
There's a new one.
Oh,
I know we can't keep up at this point,
yo,
but there's a new one.
everything is racist.
There's actually a lot of little news things I was looking at.
Shit.
There's
Yeah,
a
just
lot.
check the Millennial Hipsters.
Yo, these
like,
shootings happen so fast. I don't even think we talked
This.
about the Danforth shooting.
Well, that's because we're talking about it now on this one.
Cool.
Okay, that's not Toronto then.
Cool.
Let's see.
No, that doesn't.
I can't wait to say it's none of your fucking business. First of all, motherfucker, in this country where I was called the First Amendment rights.
Okay, this is
That's
not
America.
Toronto.
No, I just
Man.
from the yellow
Oh, you didn't watch it. I see.
the yellow poles. I just thought it was
Motherfuckers don't know.
So make sure you go and check that video out. Millennial Hipsters podcast, episode 22.
oh shit.
Before anything came between us, you were like my podcast.
Cat
The
22.
one I used to run in podcast when me and my podcast was having problems. He used to say it'll be okay, suggest other podcasts I should do. And when I go home and I leave my podcast, all that seemed to podcast about was you.
Throwback,
Sorry.
which I
We
didn't.
were turning songs into podcasts.
Earlier this
Like,
week.
Earlier this week, we were like singing your favorite songs, but then making them about podcasts. Like, hey, Mr. Podcast, everybody's here to podcast.
Right,
We
right, I get it.
can podcast till the break of dawn.
Essentially.
Every podcast, do your podcast and podcast. Gonna make you podcast. Hey, podcast, you play that song. It's Thursday night and the podcast hit. I need the podcast. Where's the podcast?
Like we need
Mr.
to.
Podcast. Like, all the friends are ready, so we can all podcast. We can podcast till the break
Trying
of
to fit podcast in there.
Alright, we're just gonna perform the entire song now. Let's just do it.
Holy shit!
Our
It
album.
doesn't get old.
Little podcast. You can't podcast with me.
Little podcast, you can podcast me if you wanted to. This is podcast. Oh my god.
This podcast shoes.
These are podcast shoes. Oh, okay, I see.
It's so stupid.
Before, I love the Usher one though. Anyway, yo, we're at 22s, episode 22, 22s. Remember people used to say 22s? Yo, but 22s, like, I don't really fuck with that
God,
show still.
I hated that. I hated that.
Yeah,
I'm
22s, I
glad
don't really,
that's dead,
like,
right?
22s, I don't really
That's
fuck
dead,
with
right?
that, you know what I mean? 22s though, I didn't even do the exam.
What
I just-
era was this?
I got
don't
it
even remember
deferred
that.
still, like, when we were in high school, I think.
This was like, you know,
It's like the long ago ancient where you gotta blow the dust off the fucking,
this is when, yeah.
the yearbook.
We're still, you know, spray painting on t-shirts and
And
shit.
shoes, get the air,
Oh, yeah, the airbrush.
shoes.
And people were like, you know, all of a sudden acting like everyone skateboarded for some reason.
Yo, 22s, I got the airbrush
Because of
shoes.
Lupe
though.
Fiasco.
22s, I got the Aaliyah painted t-shirt.
I remember give you a 2, like, I'm gonna give you a 2 for that or something.
Oh,
A
a
2?
two?
That's
Yeah.
like deuce. Like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna give
two
you
for
a
that.
deuce. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that was like
stupid.
that was before high school. That was like elementary.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And then 2-2s turned into deuces, I guess. And now it's Deuce Palooza.
No, wait. Deuces meant a different thing.
Well, I'm
Deuces
talking
was
about
like,
2. Like, you know, the number 2.
Oh, like that's a deuce.
Like,
Oh, that's
yeah,
a deuce.
that's a
That's a
deuce.
deuce.
Yeah.
Yeah. A deuceski. Oh my god. So, 22 episodes.
Yo, I want a bottle of Douce Palooza.
There's
Or not Douce Palooza, but Douce.
There's Douce at LCBO.
Is there?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah, it's $100.
How much is it?
$100 a bottle.
Not bad.
Yeah, there's Douce
that.
there. So,
So-
you get Douce. You can
That's
get
on
Douce.
par with like Henny, right?
Whose liquor is Douce? Is it Jay-Z's?
It's New York's.
Really?
They have Douce.
That's like their thing?
That's their drink. We're just on Henny we're at the moment. We just caught up to
we
Henny.
just caught up to Henny.
Yeah. They've been sipping Henny for 30 years, and we just, But, it happens.
Well, no, we're also on shootings now, too. Like that's
yeah.
we're taking
Shootings
that
and
from you,
Henny. Like,
shootings and
taking
Henny.
everything from the 90s.
We're really late. Yeah, we're super late. So
Another-
I guess we should cover it.
and racism too. We're getting the racist stuff now.
Right.
The racist stuff is leaking over.
Right.
People telling us to go back to our fucking country and shit.
Yeah. People interrupting family gatherings, of brown people and just saying, get the fuck back to the east.
People calling the
Eastern
cops.
Hemisphere.
So we're taking it. We'll get there though. We'll get there. We're up to minimum shooting every day, so that's
Yeah.
good.
Right. The stats are climbing.
You know what I mean? We're keeping up with our New York counterparts, our American counterparts. We can podcast till the break of dawn.
I thought you were trying to do a Backstreet's Back.
Oh
All right.
shit! Podcast back. All right. Everybody, everywhere, just do your podcast. I can just okay, so
It's
I think
true
we
though.
all-
Everyone has a fucking podcast.
Woo! That's what I'm saying. So why can't every song be about a podcast?
You know?
Podcast. That's your cast. It's
That's
called
your podcast.
Podcast.
Don't fucking do something on your own now.
Bod John.
John.
Don't ever fucking try to do something on your own. This is our shit. Don't try to branch off and do your own little stardom shit.
I
okay?
can see it in his
That will
face.
slap that shit down
Yo,
so
I can see it in his
fast.
face.
Yeah.
I'm just
Thinking of
gonna-
defecting still.
I'm just gonna
I can see
invite
it.
you guys as guests and promote Millennial Hipsters.
So weird.
I see his phone on his lap. He's taking
I know
notes.
he's
and
like
shit.
taking all these notes about I need a table, I need a light,
Fucking
I need 3
deodorant.
lazy ass motherfuckers. Like no, this will work. This
Need
will
a
work.
camera in the ceiling.
Yo, it's already hard to replicate.
Yeah.
Camera in the ceiling is just alright. I sign off. Like I can't even.
Some dangerous shit, bro. Who's getting up there?
Oh my god! I think that ring means
guys.
we need to get into the
Oh,
first topic.
Fuck. Oh my god. So the first topic is
Those are shooting notifications.
the weather. No, the first topic is I want to know because there's bear shootings every friggin' day now. Are you guys
No, good. I was gonna say we get those things out the way first.
Yeah. Shoot.
Another one?
Shootings and
Like I'm not even gonna talk about the shootings, but I want to talk about everything like around the shootings. Like first of all, I know some of you guys don't go to Carabana, but I could try to visit Carabana whenever I can. But is anyone keen on not going to Carabana because of the shootings?
Is that this weekend?
I don't go not because of the shootings. I just don't go because it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
There's been shootings forever, but I don't know why it never really.
You can't stop going out just because people are
Yeah, it never really bothered me.
Yeah.
There's a shooting. So it's just never going to clubs again, just because there's people shoot people at clubs or around club districts. Sometimes there's fights that break out, but that doesn't stop people from going to a club, right?
Yeah, Carabana is not really my thing. So,
Yeah.
Well,
but it wouldn't stop me from going.
Yeah.
If I wanted.
So
to.
I went every year. The only reason I don't go every year anymore is because they changed up the way that it's managed now, and it's way different than it was back in the day.
Mhm.
And they kind of there's more security now, which is it's good in certain aspects, but it's more restricted now. You can't go and come where you want.
Yeah.
And there's a certain route that they had. It was from the start of Lakeshore to the end of Lakeshore. Now it circles around the CNE. That's the route
Mm.
that the entire
And it's-
band goes. So
When you say it was differently managed from back then to now, that now you're saying it's more structured. There's a route and there's a
yeah,
program, an itinerary.
Yeah,
And
it's
is that
way more
necessarily-
structured. It's way more.
Is that why you don't go? Or is that why you're not planning on
confined.
going?
It's just because I'd say that I'm seasoned in the Caravana.
Okay, no, that's
you
what I'm
know,
looking for though.
culture.
I didn't know that. That's why I'm
So
glad you were.
yeah, I've been going for like years, like probably since we were little. We used to go, and then like when we were teenagers, we ended up going by ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, and then like up until recent years, I would say like the last like 5 years,
Uh-huh.
I haven't really been going. I've been like I'd check it out for like an hour and then dip.
Yeah.
Whereas like I'd stay there like all day.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I've just seen it change like over time. When it comes to like as I said, like the management, the security, the amount of police presence. I mean, that's good in certain aspects, but like as I said before, like you can't really go and come as you would like freely. I would say like it's like they'd stop you from going in certain areas, or they'd like
Like the parade.
the parade, or just like the audience members, not people actually participating in the parade. But
aren't they like
it's
fenced
just
off?
it's just not the same as it was back in the day. It was just
Isn't-
more free back in the day.
Isn't the parade itself like fenced off from like the audience?
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff?
fenced off, and now there's like barbed wire fencing
Oh
to
shit!
keep you out of the parade. So it's like it's way more restricted. Like you were able to like actually go into the parade as a
But you know what's funny though? Whenever I've seen those fences, someone always brings clippers and
Yeah.
literally clips the
Yeah,
metal
yeah.
out the fence, like, and people just dip right in through the parade. Like,
yeah. People find a way.
yeah. Well,
But and then the parade is like it's being it's like ending way earlier now. Like it used to end at like 8 back in the day, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And then like now it's like it ends at like 5, 6. So it's like all those little changes just make me just be like, all right, I think I got my best years of Caravana, the best experience. So I'm just like, whatever. Let's save it for the kids now.
true.
So
Save it for the kids.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are saying like, yo, a lot, like, listen, every person who's like young or knows about Caravana has this like undertone, like, yo, I don't want to go to Caravana this year because like with all the shootings going on in Toronto and
is that what people are?
Well, yeah, like a lot of people are saying like, yo, Caravana is gonna be like mess because like
Just because of the recent shootings of this,
right,
this
just
year.
where the city is now.
Of
That's
this
what it
year.
is.
Okay,
You know what
I get it, I get it,
Not
yeah.
because Caravana has some stigma around it, just because like
because there's been some violence
there have been occurrences of that at Caravana.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
throughout the years. So I'm
Yeah.
just saying like that wouldn't stop me from going.
sure.
But like the recent shootings of like how much the volume of shootings we have right now. Yes, I could see
Definitely
why
it plays
people,
a factor as to
Yeah.
why people wouldn't go particularly now.
Exactly, and due to the history, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it.
if everyone here had the chance to go to Caravana, I'm pretty sure I'd go. Like, I'd go. I wouldn't think that would keep me from going.
I mean I wouldn't go just because of what I'll just explain.
Yeah, right.
It's like that's my reasoning.
As you were saying. Yeah.
But like, I mean, the shooting. Now that I think about it, like, I mean,
I don't think the shootings would play. For me personally, I don't think it would really. Play a
it wouldn't
factor in me
be that
not
wouldn't be the
going.
factor that I wouldn't go.
But a lot of young people are saying like I don't want to like speak for all young people, but a lot of them are saying like, hey, like, oh, Caravana is just gonna be too much of a mess, and like I don't really want to go.
Yeah.
So,
But like as I said before, the security and the police presence is there, like clearly now. So I think it's gonna be hard for that type of thing to happen. Not saying that it won't happen, but like I think is less likely
yeah.
that'll happen because they're really checking people because they're now they're charging people to get in.
Right.
Whereas like all these years it was free.
Yeah, they've commercialized it now.
Yeah. So
that's
it's
interesting.
like $20 now
that they're
to
checking
go to the
people.
parade. So it's like it's way different.
I didn't know that they were checking people. I've never witnessed that, but I suppose that makes sense.
They check people. They charge people.
I remember there are some like, random occurrences at Caravana, like that one time where someone fell off the float and then was crushed by the truck.
Yeah.
Not that was a shooting. That was just like a tragic occurrence.
Yeah. I heard about that.
And then there was like another the standoff.
young guy.
Yeah, and then there was before a couple of years before that, there was like a standoff between the police and a gunman, and they capped him like in front of everyone.
What,
That was,
really?
yeah, like it was.
I think that
crazy.
happened like 2 years ago.
Like prior, like yeah. So there's just been occurrences.
Yeah, there's been. The funny thing is like, every time I hear about the shooting after I was there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's almost as if they never.
because I've been, as I said before, I've been going in the past and like I don't know where I am when these
when
things
the stuff
happen,
goes off. Yeah.
but I'm just like, okay, like
It didn't seem like there was a shooting there. It didn't seem like that was the vibe.
Then when I get home, I hear on the news, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, so I've never personally been like, you know, in the presence of it, but it does apparently happen. Like, you know, so I mean, if there's a risk of that happening due to all the gun violence, the recent gun violence, and you know, I tell people like, yeah, however you feel, just act on that feeling.
Yeah.
If you feel like, you know, this might not be a good year to go, or this is kind of turning you off from the parade, then just don't go off your feeling. I'm not gonna promote it or not promote it.
Right. I mean, that's to say the least, because I know there's like, trust me, there's a lot. Like, for every person that says that they're not going, there's another like handful of people that say, hey, I want to play this year, and like I want to do mass, and like I want to do the whole shebang. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely gonna be a huge turnout, as there always is every year for people that are keen on going. What else is coming up? So August, that's coming up for August. Taste of Danforth is coming up in August. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Taste of Danforth.
Yeah.
I try to go a lot. I try to go.
I haven't been in like 3 years, but
I try to go every year. There's some good food out there.
yeah, really good food
it's
from the
packed.
local area, restaurants.
Yeah, it's super packed out there.
You get that spadooch.
Actually, before August starts, there's Bear Fest coming up this weekend.
Oh yeah, right.
With I think Ludacris is supposed to be there. I'm going.
Ludacris gonna be at Beer Fest?
Yeah.
No way.
He's on the flyer for it, but I don't know, man. What is he going to be doing? Fucking serving beer?
Grilled.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Ludacris is gonna be like
Pilsner beer.
Oh shit.
Records, red.
Yeah. Like yeah. What is he gonna be doing? Is he performing? Like he's doing a walkthrough.
Throw them. What?
He throw them.
Beer.
What's a beer that rhymes with Bose?
Oh, Bose. Strongbow.
Okay, there it is.
Bose.
Yeah.
Beer.
Bose Brewery, Toronto Brewery.
Oh yeah, Bose.
Throw them Bose.
Yes.
The Bose. The free
Throw
beer.
them Bose.
Why are you? Why are you putting the book? Yeah, put that down in the book for later.
Bose. Throw them. He's gonna be rendering the video.
The title. Oh, the title.
The
All
title.
right.
Yeah.
So Ludacris is gonna be serving beer, performing, walking through at the beer fest. It's gonna be Ludacris Fest. That's sick. It's gonna be happening this weekend, all weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
I think it's Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
but I paid
He's
for
gonna do like move bitch.
You gotta buy
away,
tickets.
And then,
Yeah, it's tickets. I paid for a ticket back in like February or January,
See, word.
and I just remembered it's this fucking.
How much for tickets?
I think we got it for 40. Me and Blacks.
Okay.
Does that
But,
come with drinks and stuff?
Say word. Yeah, you can drink tickets
I have no
and shit?
clue. I'm just gonna go since I paid for the ticket.
Right.
I have
40
no
each,
clue.
eh?
Yeah, but now I think.
It better come with some drinks for $40.
Yeah, I think later on it went up to like 55 or something.
What
like
the
that, so-
fuck? Oh,
Yeah.
it's Ludacris.
Yeah, Ludacris. Right. He was on this ticket.
Increase
it's
the
just
value
kinda
of
weird.
that
I don't know. What's going on? But Chicken and Beer, his album.
Oh, yeah?
Alright.
Ah,
Right.
okay.
I remember that album. That was a sick album.
But, like, what is he going to be doing is the question. He's probably going to be performing, no?
I hope he does.
He's gonna
He's
do
gonna do, like,
move
a
bitch.
walk-
I wouldn't care either. I mean,
He's gonna do move bitch and
He's
cut.
on the flyer.
he's on the ticket. Like we printed out the tickets and he's on there. Like Beer Fest.
I would just be happy with him just like, what's going on, y'all?
I
Let's
would-
be a fest.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like emceeing.
I'll buy him a beer. We'll drink a beer together. Fuck it.
You know how many people are going to be buying him
Yeah,
beer?
I know, right? Just like
Yo, Luda! Take mine, yo! Get me. It's like bare people lining up for snaps.
Yeah,
Like a
exactly.
snap
Girls
line
trying to get his DNA and shit
like
on the
a
can.
Clout line. It's gonna be a okay. Girls trying to get his DNA so they can replicate it in virtual reality, like that Black Mirror episode. So that's sick. Beer Fest, Taste of Danforth. The Danforth shooter is like everybody's talking about this now, and what's crazy is that ISIS came out and claimed responsibility for it. Did you hear that? Did you fucking hear that?
What?
That ISIS claimed
You know what's
responsibility.
funny? Because
Clout riding.
Yeah, definitely
they're
clout
clout chasing.
Absolutely
Because
clout chasing, yeah.
the real story that came out is that he was mentally
No.
ill or something,
Yeah.
shit like that. He went to counseling right before he did the shooting or some
Oh
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, and that type of news came out. So it's like it's not even has nothing to do. It's the fact that he's Muslim.
He's Muslim.
Yes.
The thing is though, the fact that he's Muslim trumps everything in the media.
Right.
You know, if he's mentally, he's like, no, he's mentally ill. Like, no, he's Muslim. Oh, okay, no, terrorist. Forget that he's mentally ill. He's like, you know what I mean? Like, if they're mentally ill, there's justification, but like, everything negates justification when you're Muslim. You know what I mean? In the media, like,
Yeah, and
if you're
ISIS-
Muslim, it doesn't matter your mental illness, doesn't matter nothing. Like,
You know what?
you're
And the funny
Muslim.
part is like ISIS jumping in does not help you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know,
ISIS is
like,
chasing
what
like.
the fuck is this?
wow.
Like that even like.
That's like their marketing team, their young marketing team behind the computers, like saying like, "Oh, did you see this? They're shooting in Toronto. Yo, yeah, chase his clout right now."
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's like the younger like marketers advising like,
And then all the other bar people are like, no. Oh, fucking. Like,
"Oh my God!" All the brown people are like, "Oh, please be white, please be white, please be white," and the verdict is in.
ISIS, no. Fuck, man.
And you're like trying to get onto Pornhub, and ISIS keeps stepping into the room.
Close the door.
It's like trying to lock ISIS out. So that's kind of weird. Now the media's like in a shitstorm because ISIS came out. It's like, oh yeah, that's us. No, yeah, for real. You know what I mean?
I'm actually going through articles right now. There's another article that came out saying that, like, they're not sure if it's legit ISIS because there's nothing supporting.
Right. There's no correlation.
It's
like.
just
Because it was a fake letterhead that they sent to the.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. It just sort of
From
came
the
out.
head office of ISIS.
You know, like I don't know where it comes from.
Like,
but
oh,
they're
it's a photocopy still.
I guess they're
Oh.
trying to like track it or whatever, but they can't really find any leads from it. So they're just
Right.
like, "What the hell is this?"
You know what it is? Because the media was saying like, oh, he was on ISIS sites. Like, what person? I've been on an ISIS site. Like everyone goes.
He was on
and,
sites.
like everyone will browse ISIS in Google.
ISIS.
Like I swear I did it this morning. Like you know what I mean? ISIS featuring Jadakiss day and night. Like you know, so like who is it to some effect? Looking these things up on the computer, and you know the media is just trying to like blow shit up.
Typing up that porn star ISIS love.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Right,
they didn't let him
exactly.
finish the
ISIS-
Google search.
Yeah, and then they handcuffed him right before.
Yeah, exactly. When you
Like-
search up ISIS love, make sure like yo, they gonna. Man can't even friggin'.
Yeah, exactly. Man can't even.
That's why he shot the.
This guy is
Man can't even
Is
pose.
this spelt the same way.
Tic
that
tac
porn
pose.
did he shoot himself?
Yeah, he killed himself.
Apparently,
Okay.
but well, that's another thing that's
No, I thought
unconfirmed.
the cop shot him.
That's another thing that's unconfirmed. They don't really know. Like, no, the media's not
This
really.
article
comfortable
says Toronto shooter died of self-inflicted gunshot wound.
with it. Okay.
Source.
Mm.
Do you see anything about mental illness in there?
Yeah, all the headlines are actually saying it now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, police chief says no evidence to support ISIS claim of responsibility. for shooting.
It was us.
Yeah, exactly.
Teacher
No, it wasn't
says-
mental illness, bro. It was all us, fam. Yo, that was us,
A
dog.
teacher says Faisal Hussein told him, "I want to kill someone."
Say word.
That's what he said. And I mean, like,
Shouldn't that teacher have reported something to?
I mean, for every
someone?
person that says I'm gonna kill someone, though, I don't know.
yeah, like what was that movie
I'm gonna
with
kill
Tom
someone,
Cruise?
die.
It was like Time Cop or something.
Minority Report.
Minority Report. Like
Time
we
Cop.
don't have that.
Time Cop. Shit. That's a whole next genre.
Sega Saturn.
Time Cop. Shit. All right.
I'm just saying, like,
Bare bones.
Wait, what was Time Cop? That was when Sylvester Stallone. Traveled back in-
No, Time Cop was an
Game.
arcade game back in the day where you held
that
the
was
gun.
Time Crisis.
Oh yes. Never mind.
Yikes! What's Time Cop now?
Like we're
Hold
mixing
on.
up everything here.
I don't think Time Cop exists.
No. Time Cop is a thing. It's a movie. See,
Is it?
Van Damme. Time Cop.
Wait, hold on. This like spiraled into something else.
Sorry, my bad.
I gotta.
What
watch
were you
this.
talking about,
I
bro?
was saying, like, even though
Time
like
Cop.
someone would say to somebody else, "Oh, I want to kill someone," it's not like we have the system in place where we could see if they will actually kill someone, like in the movie. Like they know he's gonna commit the crime.
Yeah, right.
So they just stop him ahead of time. But, I mean, this guy, I don't know, you know.
Foresight is, I think, what's
Yeah.
appreciated in these circumstances. So yeah, Time Cop actually is a movie about the cops doing exactly what you're saying, traveling back in time to prevent the crime.
I guess that's where
After it
Minority
happens.
Report.
But then Minority Report is what they're actually manipulating time to foresee the crime
Yeah,
when it
okay.
happens.
Right,
prevent
and
it.
Time Crisis is a game by Sega that came out in 1996
And
in the
you hit-
arcades.
And you hit the pedal to crouch.
Right,
You can
and we were
release
like
the pedal to
10
shoot.
years old, 9 years old playing this game,
Right.
and like, you know, you picked up a plastic gun, you shot at the screen, and it was like virtual reality. And
Put
it blew
your gun
fucking
down
mind.
to
Right.
reload. And you could never beat that shit, man.
It was the first 3D game I ever played.
Oh yeah, shoot away from the screen to reload.
Yes. You go like that.
Yeah, shoot away from the screen.
Or you point up like that.
So yes, if you are gonna shoot, please just do it in virtual reality.
Yeah.
Keep it to virtual reality. We could change the topic though. Like,
No,
I mean,
the thing that troubles me that ISIS is trying to claim this is that that means they don't like Canada. Like they're trying to claim an attack on Toronto or Canada.
I think it's
Like
not that they don't like Canada, because we have a huge Muslim demographic. We have a huge devout Muslim demographic.
I'm trying to stop you there. Like with
we can't associate Muslim people with ISIS.
Well, yeah, okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I'd say that there are. I mean, the thing about ISIS and America, though, that the rigid relationship between like ISIS and America is that they're very like politically like divided. You know what I mean? Whereas with Canada, it's like we have such like a we don't support terrorism by any means. The thing is, like, Muslims who come here who want to practice their religion like devotedly, like very even extremely. You know what I mean? They're free to like wear the hijab in public. They're free to like do these to practice their religion to the extreme, as any other religion is. You know what I mean? And I just think with ISIS, like we treat these things a little bit more sensitively. You know what I mean? This whole like the issue of ISIS and like how it correlates to, you know, undertones about the Muslim religion. I think we're very like sensitive about these topics. Whereas with America in the U.S., they're very like keen on like labeling, like and generalizing all Muslims to be extreme, and you know what I mean. And when you see like there's a panic, there's like a scare in there in the States right now as to like who's a terrorist, and it's like a red scare, like who's this and like who's that, and we're like they're so keen on labeling. But what I will say though is that ISIS is kind of using this as like a threshold to kind of kick their way in. You know,
like,
like
yo, we still out here. Like,
yeah, like a Muslim guy committed a mass shooting in Canada.
Yeah.
Let's use that to kind of as an anchor to establish a presence in Canada. You know what I mean? And I think they're just using that as kind of like an anchor. But where they're kind of fucking up is that this is like a one-time occurrence. Hopefully, you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean. Like, God forbid that it happens. Something like this happens again. But you know, I don't really see too many like acts of terrorism occurring on Canadian soil the same way that ISIS kind of, the same way that ISIS kind of conceptualizes it. Like, you know what I mean. Like a extremist Muslim like committing mass murder for the sake of religion, right? Yeah. I don't really see a lot of that in Toronto. We haven't seen that in Canada.
They're basically loser-ass clout chasers, to be honest.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's
trying to claim responsibility for shit that they haven't fucking done. And, you know, trying to gain notoriety off of, you know, or not notoriety, but...
New York City,
publicity.
and you try to blow anything up, I'm coming for you. Y'all ISIS niggas, fuck y'all ISIS niggas. You from New York, I'm from Brooklyn, fuck ISIS. They killed my...
I just wanted to fuck ISIS, but it's Toronto and fuck ISIS.
But see, the thing is you know what's really funny about that is that even as Torontonians, it's like when we talk about ISIS and we say things like fuck ISIS, it's like that's even like a sensitive thing to say, because I mean, sure, they're a terrorist group and they're a terrorist organization. The fact that like that they have these like beliefs and not the beliefs that are like congruent with like killing people and like causing terror and stuff like that, but like the fact that they just devotedly celebrate their religion and they're very committed to their religion, I think there's like an undertone that Canada is sensitive to, whereas in the States it's like different. It's like fuck ISIS, right? Like I don't know if I'm coming across the right way, but
are you saying that we sympathize?
Not that we sympathize, but like it's more of that like we're more cognizant of what ISIS is. Not I wouldn't even say understanding, because that would kind of correlate to more like sympathy, right? But it's like we're less rigid when it comes to these things, like, and that's because we already have. I would say understanding, because we have such a dominant Muslim population, so we're very educated on the religion itself, what it is, what it's not, and I think that keeps us from being so politicized.
Yeah, I think we like when it comes to everything, we take everything into account before coming up with the final answer. Let's just say that, like, that's what we do here. You know, in comparison to the States, they have their mind made up already, and that's what they go with. That's what they go with. So
sure, even in our Canadian media, like we're really like tiptoeing around labeling, and like now it's like, was it a terrorist act? And like some Canadians are very keen on it. Though. Everyone is thinking it for sure, and people and Canadians are.
But we're actually we're trying to comb through it and actually figure out what it is. Right. Before we actually jump to conclusions. Right.
What I will say is that what I will say we sympathize for is Canadians who've defected and gone over to ISIS and have actually joined ISIS. Yeah. Because I think that is also an issue. And even that is something that we're trying to kind of like tackle and understand like what makes youths kind of magnetized towards ISIS, and because a number of Canadian youths have gone and joined have gone and joined ISIS as well, and they've defected, and they've gone and they've actually traveled to Iraq and whatever. And I think it's just something to dissect. And again, just to reiterate, like I'm not like kind of correlating all Muslims with ISIS, and I think that's something that we're very careful not to do.
Yeah.
So I just think it's like super sensitive in Canada. But that being said, there is the complete other side of just there's racism in Canada too, man. And this new story about this Muslim family in Center Island who was like
I found a post on Reddit.
Yeah, pretty much assaulted by this like older Canadian white male.
He definitely has the racist aesthetic.
He does. He looks like a racist from like 1991 though.
Yeah. His hair, like he looks like Donald Trump's fucking brother. His like floppy ass hair flowing in the wind.
And like the samurai shirt.
Yeah.
And like
the Hawaiian shirt. Like you look like Donald Trump's brother on vacation.
So if you guys haven't seen the video, they're at Center Island. They're like, it's clearly a Muslim family. They're of South Asian descent, and we don't know. You can't really tell what happens before the cameras start rolling.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there was an altercation between the youngest guy in the family, who seems to be maybe like his early 20s or his late 20s.
Throughout the whole video, he keeps asking him, don't ask me a fucking question. Or
he's like, you don't ask me questions in my province. And what I think there may have been is that maybe the brown dude or the dude asked him like, like what are you looking at, or like whatever, like where are you, like he actually on camera he asked him like, where are you at? He goes like, where are you at? Like, why are you here? Like, why are you standing here, right? And then I think that kind of what explodes the whole altercation.
But yeah, I mean, that guy, I don't know, it doesn't excuse anything.
Yeah.
And that, like, the way that he's approaching them like that, like, I mean, I don't even know how to word this.
He was just super heated. Like, you could
he was
feel
also
the
drunk
rage in his voice.
Was he drunk?
Yeah, man. Because even the dude he's like, man, you smell like alcohol. Like you're drunk. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And it was weird for me because like the guy first of all, it's assault, okay? Because he's like definitely like yelling in their faces, getting up in their personal space, gesturing to them like he's gonna do something, pushing them. Of course, he gets pushed back. And then there's definitely a heated moment. He's clearly harassing the family, and then they call the police. He's like, and then the security comes.
Yeah.
And it's weird because in the video, the security seems to be paying more attention to like the Muslim family than they are the racist assailant.
Yeah. I saw the security, come up to the Muslim family.
Yeah.
Put her hand out, like, kind of like, protecting the fucking guy that's assaulting them.
Yeah.
But like, kind of like, like, oh yeah, you guys back off.
Mm-hmm.
And like, while he's coming at them.
So weird.
And still still swinging at the guy.
Yeah.
And then she realized what's happening, even though the guy's yelling the entire time at them, right? And then she kind of tries to break up the both of the parties. But at the same time, it's just like, why you gotta come in there like the family's doing something? You see women and children here, and this guy acting all belligerent and like yelling at the family, and why aren't you controlling him?
Yeah.
Why aren't you being like, hey, sir, what's going on?
The security was kind of scared to confront
That's
him.
what I think too. The security was smaller in stature.
Yeah,
it was a female, not
looked like
Tiffany's.
she was like, a young girl.
She could have been trying to talk to the people who were more coherent.
Maybe that's also what I was thinking as well.
Like this guy,
I can deal with this guy later. He's not going to be listening to what I'm saying.
But at the same time, he's yelling and still swinging.
What's crazy is that
while she's talking to the family,
as she's talking to the family, the guy's like, "I'll fucking kill you."
Yeah.
He comes up behind her and says, "I will fucking kill you."
And he's still pushing the guys like, oh,
dude, which is
if
crazy.
I was there.
I know. She at least should have called for backup or something.
Yeah,
They ain't one security
guard. It
guard.
was just her.
She must have.
Yeah.
I'm getting mad talking about this.
I know. No. And the thing is that, and a lot of
I saw the entire video, and these guys, like,
it's jarring. Yeah.
it's just like, I could tell one of them really
The
wanted
level
to fucking
of
get him.
restraint. The level of restraint is
Like
commendable.
the main guy was really restraining himself.
Yeah.
The main guy in the video
Mhm.
in the family, but I saw like one of the young guys. He's just like he wanted to get him,
He wanted a
dude.
piece so bad.
But like
Like, he in the video, he's like, "Yo, hit me! Like, punch me!"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
"Punch me! Like,
exactly,
hit me!"
exactly.
You know?
And I think he understood what his family member was trying to do, like
Yeah.
kind of just like let it go,
Mhm.
kind of thing. Because once you get into a fight like with one of those kind of people, and you're a fucking minority, yeah, and it gets on video. The video starts
Yeah,
floating around.
Sure, there's no
you
good
lose.
way to look at it. You lose.
You lose.
Yeah,
you lose.
absolutely,
You
man.
lose
It's
if you
fucked.
fucking back down,
Yeah, it's
and you
fucked.
lose if you go at the guy.
Yeah, it's fucked.
So
it's a hard situation.
It's crazy.
It's a
like,
very hard situation.
I'm not, I'm not saying it's a brown and white thing all the time, but like it is sort of like that in situations, man. When it comes to minorities and dealing with that type of shit.
So since then, the Toronto police have stepped in, and apparently, he was arrested actually in relation to a separate incident. A second incident. So he was actually targeting visible minorities the same way, and they're not treating it as a hate crime because they're still investigating. But that's just crazy, and I just think it's weird not weird for us. But I remember John was telling us one time how like some dude pulled up in a pickup truck
That was the last episode.
and started like blasting him in terms
Yeah,
of like
Yeah.
like racism. I think this is just another occurrence of that.
It's funny because he sounds like that dude. The same type
It might have been the
of...
same.
You
whatever.
Brampton guys.
You
Yeah.
Brampton guys. Well, that seems like a little bit more watered down versus
Yeah.
what happened here.
No, my experience was nothing compared to this.
Yeah. Oh my god! If that guy was swinging at me and trying to push me, like
crazy,
he was pushing the
He was
guy,
pushing
right?
him, yeah.
If I saw the video
He
correctly,
got up in his face,
and he was swinging,
He was like nudging him, yeah.
being all up in his face, dude.
But I think to take the important thing to take back from this is to not do something brash in those situations, man. Like we as a people, as minorities ourselves, the four of us here, we have to have that kind of disposition to these things.
I mean, I'd be okay if he was just yelling at me,
Yeah,
but pushing me,
yeah.
he actually pushed him.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
So
you're ready. You're good for a fight there.
You-
I say like when it comes to like street rules in society.
Yeah.
The minute a guy touches you, you're allowed to punch him.
Yeah, but I mean, then you need a camera on
Yeah,
you all
fuck
the
it.
time.
I'll
like-
punch the camera too. Okay. Let's stop talking about
I mean, that's cool.
But I think they obviously the young man in the video is actually pretty mindful of the fact that it's on camera because
And my family's there.
yeah,
dude?
for
Oh
sure.
my
And if people
God,
are swinging,
you
they just
kidding
don't want to
me?
be legally implicated, right?
He would, but he would like to.
That's
what
right.
he's saying.
I told you guys. I messaged you guys. I'm like, dude, I would have went to jail. I'm pretty sure I would have went to jail.
Right, you did tell us that. You know what this reminds me of? This is reminiscent of a video that I saw back in high school. I think maybe Boofer Jam put me onto it. It's called Pizza Nova LOL, and it's almost like almost the same thing.
I don't think so.
No, he was just a drunk guy. He wasn't being like, oh yeah, you fucking black
wasn't
guy,
being
get the fuck
racist.
out.
He was being racist.
No.
He didn't say the N word.
No,
Really? Oh, okay.
he just like I forgot what he said. He's like,
But he approached them, and that's when they were
he's
like, "Wait, hold on."
Yeah,
right there."
yeah. And then the video cut off. But I don't think it was racial. But it was just a drunk guy being belligerent. Which I mean, I would still smack him even if he wasn't being racial.
Yeah, right.
And he tried to fuck with me.
Yeah.
But specifically in that video, I remember this one line. He's like,
"I was raped."
I was raped 9 times in jail, buddy.
Oh, yikes! Whoa.
and then like he approaches them. He's like, "What? What do you want?
Yeah,
What do you want?"
yeah. And then at
And he's
that
like,
point,
they're like, hold it right there.
Yeah, they cut the camera. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
I wonder. Yeah, I never asked him what happened in the fucking
Pizza
video.
Nova LOL. There's actually a Pizza Nova LOL part 2, so check that out.
So check that out.
So shout outs to that. I'm just glad the police stepped in and it's being investigated and whatnot. So
Cool.
that's always-
Fuck racism.
Yeah. Speaking of fuck racism, yo, Donald Trump in LA, his Hollywood star, some dude got at it with a pickaxe and like just obliterated
Oh,
the
man.
I like that.
Donald Trump star. You know, it's crazy.
Was it a white guy?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I don't know.
We don't know.
That's actually a really good
I
question.
just hope it was a white
I
guy.
didn't see the.
Just like,
Wow.
you
I
know,
didn't
be
read
mad
it.
with us.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like
Oh, there's
There's a lot of people.
There's
white
a
people
lot
that
of white
hate
people.
I know, but are really ready to take it to that level where like
Yeah.
they're destroying public property.
Uh huh.
Trump.
You know,
I don't think anybody else walking around that part of town with a pickaxe
in a white
get
pickup truck.
Could get
would
away
get
with
away with
Oh,
it.
that's true.
Because
too.
Okay, he's
High probability that he was
if you saw the
white.
picture, like the star is completely demolished.
gone, you can't tell there was a star.
It's a full size pickaxe.
Yeah.
Like you need 2 hands for this shit. Like it's not
Right.
just a click.
He was doing the wind up.
Yeah, like there's
okay,
just a
okay.
picture of
All
the
right, no black
pickaxe.
guys fucking doing
Yeah.
the wind up with the fucking
Absolutely.
pickup. Yeah.
In LA,
Pickaxe.
no way.
Since we're on Trump, I also this thing I read about. You know the soccer ball that Putin gave to him.
Yeah.
So
He popped it.
no, now they're thinking that it's bugged.
Oh my god.
So talking about how the FBI is like scanning it and doing all types of shit to it right now. So that's kind of funny. That's not
analyzing a
funny.
ball.
Yeah.
Cut the shit open. Like what? We're running tests on the ball. Like,
Idiots.
throwing it as far as we can.
Since we're still in the realm.
They want to make sure the ball is preserved in
Right,
case it's a
okay.
it's a
All right.
legitimate gift.
Replicate the technology.
There's a fucking bomb in it.
I'm like firing off topics.
No, do it up.
This next one, Facebook. I don't know if you heard about this one. Plunges in stock, and Zuckerberg's net worth is down $19 billion.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about
The
that.
stock went down what, like 150 million in like 2 hours?
But how
Yeah,
much percent?
something like that
Percent?
in
I'm
Europe,
not really
right?
Sure.
Because of the
That's what I didn't actually. I just saw headlines. That's what I was
Oh.
going off of. I wanted to know if anybody else saw
because
this.
of what the fuck's Cambridge Analytics.
Because that whole thing?
Because the whole thing. This is backlash from.
yeah, it's backlash.
That's been
From
going on
back
for a
then?
while
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why
Right.
is sudden
But
plummet?
I have no clue why now, but it's because of that. And yeah, man, they dipped the bill.
All right. Well,
Wow.
if we don't know anything else about it, I want to move on.
I feel like
another
that's still.
topic.
I feel like that's still changed to Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyways, Seth
we're gonna
Rogen.
lose a Billy first.
Seth Rogen is gonna be the official train voice. Remember we talked about this? It was
Oh,
gonna be
no
Morgan
way.
Freeman, but Seth Rogen officially got it. So I think we gotta
He
make
has
a
such an
trip.
ugly voice though.
I don't know any of the stuff.
young station.
Like what?
Is me taking tokes in between
Yeah.
saying it.
Wait. Where's it gonna be in
Vancouver, the Vancouver train
Sick.
station.
Well, he's from Vancouver, so good for him.
That's
man.
cool. Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
really cool.
Putting the whole
And plus, it, you know, it takes a funny twist on the, you know, on
There's
the
a funny
train
twist on it.
because you just know it's his voice.
But then you'll be thinking like, damn, could it be Morgan?
All right,
Could it be Morgan though? Could it be
Roswell
Morgan?
Station.
Like imagine Morgan Freeman though narrating your
Would've
day.
been
That's
more,
sick.
I would have fucking fell asleep.
Yeah.
This is
Well, only.
lore.
I mean, eventually that's gonna get boring too. I wonder who the original. Oh yeah, they did an article on who the original girl was for the Toronto station and shit.
and shit.
Yo, did you hear? In terms of basketball, did you hear that that D Wade he wants to go play for a team in China
No.
because they offered him $25 million. It's like
Really?
more than he's ever been offered
Wow.
ever. So he wants to go play for Team China.
For what? The next
Yeah,
Olympics?
max
I'm
you can
guessing?
earn here is like 22 or something like that.
That's
You
crazy.
don't reach 20.
He's
mil
washed
first.
up anyways. He's not gonna do
Yeah, I
anything
feel
in
like
the
his
NBA.
value has kind of gone down. So
You should go.
a lot of players are doing that though. Like a lot of players have done that in the
What
past.
do you need $25
Go to
million
international?
for? Like, what's $4 million? When
Yo,
you
gotta get
already
that bag,
making-
yo.
What do you need $25 million?
No, I mean, like,
for?
what's four or 5 million more when you're already making 20?
Trust me.
Excuse you.
Maintaining
That's
that
like- that's the-
$1 million
you know,
lifestyle.
You might as well go for that
Yes.
because that's the tax, right?
Yeah. Oh my.
And then you could
goodness.
keep the rest. There you go.
I guess.
4 million tax. There, he went for it.
Yo, happiness costs a lot of money, man. Like.
It depends on what you buy that makes you happy. I think.
25 mil worth of fucking.
I like shopping at the dollar store.
Yeah. Sick. And no, 24 mil of piff, and then 1 mil for like everything else.
Okay, yeah. That sounds
Place, a
good.
car, whatever.
Um,
And that gold flaked weed.
Yeah, sure.
It's
why
like
not,
gold.
man?
Oh,
We're spending 24
Gold
mil on
Schlager
that shit.
weed.
Yeah.
Yo, Tekashi 69 got jumped, pistol whipped, kidnapped, whip-napped, whipped up.
Whippersnap.
About time, son.
As long as they didn't kill him, I'm good. But yeah, beat his ass up.
That's true too. I was talking about that to someone. Like, okay, if they killed him, then we would all be like, yo, oh my god, yo, stop the violence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, now that he's okay, like, we're
No,
like,
when
yo, what the fuck? They just pistol whip him? Yo, they should have, like, you know what I mean?
You can't talk all this shit and
No,
walk
you know, it's
walk
like
away.
no. For me, it's like a TV show. So this guy came out, you know, started talking all this shit, like, "Yo, come get me, come get me." They got him, and now I want to see what happens now. Is he gonna be fucking crying now?
Like, is he gonna be is he behaving?
Is he gonna be like all like suit and tie and shit?
Yeah.
He's gonna be all JT on him.
Oh shit!
Rainbow
Come
suits.
in with my suit and tie.
He's gonna be. He was like, investing money when you're young.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, what? Licking ice cream off her
Why?
asshole.
Why?
I mean,
An article here says that him opening for her is actually kind of sucks, and I didn't read why, but that's what the headline says.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So do Nicki Minaj fans want to see Tekashi, or is it the other way around?
I think it would be the other way around. Why the fuck would
Tekashi
Nicki
fans wanna see
Minaj's
Nicki
fans
Minaj.
give a fuck about Tekashi 69?
look,
I think a lot of Nicki Minaj fans are also Tekashi 69.
they're both colorful.
Because they're both
Okay.
young.
The only thing
They're
I
both
can find in
it's
common.
young people.
She has colorful hair. He has colorful hair.
Done.
They wear colorful clothes.
Very
They're
flamboyant.
both associated with pedophilia because Nicki Minaj's brother raped a 10-year-old girl.
Right.
Yikes.
Right.
So like they can
Oh,
both
God.
relate on that level. Oh yeah, my brother's pedophile. Yeah. What do you say?
They're both from New York.
He reminds me of my little brother.
Yo, is this just me or does like Nicki Minaj like suck shit now?
Wait, they're both from Brooklyn, right? That makes sense. They're
yeah.
both from Brooklyn.
I guess so.
There you
yeah.
go. Nicki Minaj sucks shit now. Yeah.
Like Chun-Li is not a good song, man. Like I don't think
Yeah.
Chun-Li is a good song at all.
Is that the name of their song?
Yo, I've been on. You've been gone. Like I
Yeah.
hate that song.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
I
bad.
think you hate it because of the Street Fighter reference.
No, it's not because it's. I should love it. I should love it because the Street Fighter reference, right?
No, but I mean, like, she's kind of
She did put-
disrespecting Street Fighter.
she
She
did
doesn't
put-
even like.
she just
Why
calls
did she
it-
call it Chun-Li though? Why did she call it Chun-Li? It doesn't make sense to me.
She's just
either.
like, she's a warrior.
There's no like Hadoken in it. Like there's no thing. Like I don't. She's like I
You
don't
thought
know.
she was gonna like tell you the moves. And
Right. I thought she was gonna at least rap like you know.
shit? To rap about the
Yeah,
tournament.
like down forward. You know what I mean?
Like, you know, shout out.
Hold back for 3 seconds. Forward kick. Like you know what I mean?
So they should have sampled some Chun-Li
Or
sound
some.
effects
There's
or
no
something.
sample of Chun-Li anything.
I what was I gonna say? Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Okay,
fuck.
never mind.
I was
I'll
disappointed.
come back to
I was
it.
disappointed that there was no. The song
Honestly-
was just called Chun-Li and that's where it ends. Like that's
I
it.
thought Nicki
Damn
Minaj
it.
was decent.
Totally
She
forgot what I
has
was gonna
bars
say.
and she has flows, but she doesn't always like come with it. She always trying to do some weird.
I really think Cardi B is just eating all of her shit up right now. Like
in
it's
terms
just-
of in terms
almost
of
like
like
I don't know. I really can't
in
fuck.
terms of charts and shit. Yeah.
Bringing it back to Toronto though, did you guys hear about this teacher who was charged with negligence? Basically, they were on a school trip, and the student drowned in the Algonquin
Oh shit.
at the Algonquin Park.
Shit.
He was 15 years old. Drowned during a canoe trip in Ontario's Algonquin Park while taking part in a summer outdoor education course. He wasn't wearing a life jacket when he and a group of kids went out into the water at Big Trout Lake to wash off.
Yeah, is this what did we talk about this last week?
No, see, we were talking about
life jackets last week.
that brown DJ. We were talking about that South Asian DJ, DJ Brownsoul, who would also drown
Oh,
with no life jacket. But so today, the teacher was charged actually with negligence, man. I used to do bear fuckery on school trips though. I used to sneak alcohol. We used to get drunk. One time,
Drama class.
this girl got alcohol poisoning on one of the trips.
Drama
the
class trip.
ambulance came.
Holy shit.
Like, I can only
It's
imagine.
funny because that happened on my.
like in our time. you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that happened on 2 separate trips. Like, you
really?
say some girl got
Spanish,
drunk.
yeah, for a Spanish.
For Spanish, we went on a Spanish trip, and
Spanish
you
class,
remember Jared Neal?
I remember Jared Neal.
Yeah, he got super drunk. Got like,
Oh, it was a dude.
yeah.
And you just name drop.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
yo! Shout out to JN. You know what I mean? He got Super Smash. That was back in the day. What is he gonna be like? Anyway?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
So he got Super Smash.
He's one of our subscribers.
It's
yo.
surprising that like he is he one of our listeners?
I don't know.
That's Jared with his blue contacts. So it's surprising that it was a dude though, because like
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but like the
ambulance came.
The ambulance came to pick them up.
No
But
way.
It was crazy. I was drinking too.
The
They were
thing
passing
is-
the ball around like.
Yeah, right. How you gonna not
Everybody
drink?
was like,
Fuck it.
yeah, fuck it. Like, but yeah, it happens. It happens.
But see, what you say it happens, but like, what they doing now? The fucking mollies, like fucking blunts, backwoods, like
On the fucking
everything,
school
bro.
bus?
Lean, like.
Do you think this was
Lean.
part of it
Zens.
in this story?
See, the thing is, that's what I don't know. Like, he was 15, you know what I mean? And like, I don't like to kind of rob the kid died. I don't want to rob him of his
Dude,
innocence.
how are you a
like that.
teacher and you're taking kids on the water and you're not giving them life jackets?
Yeah,
That's the other thing.
life
So that's
jacket.
probably why she was justifiably charged with negligence, you know?
100%, man.
And the parents were relieved that there was some justice. But that's crazy. That's actually really scary, man. If it was your kid, man, I'd be waiting for somebody at the TDSB to get pressed, and that's really tragic.
I mean, I'd love to pop a molly on a school trip.
I mean, at what age though? Like,
You wouldn't have to call the ambulance.
Oh
You
man,
just-
that'd be sick. That'd be sick.
Papa Molly on a school trip?
I did it on the Wonderland trip at least.
That's like a bar.
Oh god.
A Papa Molly
Because, I
on
mean,
a school
somewhere where you
trip.
can be excited.
Yeah.
Where you the museum?
Dude, I can't
Molly
even.
at the
Well,
museum.
Oh, Molly at the museum? Okay, that would be lit.
Nah, you guys like that because it fucking rhymes.
Molly at the museum?
yeah.
No,
Molly
it's an
at-
alliteration. It starts M and M.
Yeah.
It's the next episode.
That's like one of those movies they just make because the
Yeah.
title sounds
Molly
nice.
at the museum.
Molly at the.
It's about a girl
horrible
named
movie.
Molly, but
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what it's really about.
Yeah.
Did we used to? I don't even know. Were we doing weed and shit out there?
I'm pretty sure you guys are blazing. a
No,
little
I
bit.
was like throughout high school. No, I
Oh,
wasn't.
you blazed after high school?
Yeah, like close to the end. Yeah, pretty much at the end. Yeah.
I know this has been popping up in the news about the sex education.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, man.
So the school districts are speaking out about the provincial government's plan to have students learn from a 20-year-old sex education curriculum.
Yeah,
So they finally rejected it because Ford wanted to bring it back,
that's good.
and it's done. They're just like, fuck that. It's old. It's old shit.
Yeah, so basically what they wanted to do was, under the PC government, they wanted to eliminate kids being taught about transgendered people, LGBTs, safe sex, not safe sex, but like
They never
safe
taught us
sex
about
between transgender
Yeah,
and like
Transgender
yeah.
shit.
and like xenophobia. No, sorry, not xenophobia. What am I talking about? But like mainly like transgendered.
Well, they want to teach kids how to be like comfortable, with who they are,
Right,
and
right.
they're teaching them about consent and stuff like that. I don't think they really, in our curriculum, did we learn anything like consent or?
No.
No, not really.
Consent? No way.
No.
He said the penis and the vagina.
But
Yeah.
yo, consent is super important though.
Yeah,
nowadays.
they teach it in the new
Yeah.
curriculum.
And they wanted to take that out.
want to
And
take it out.
they wanted to essentially be teaching kids the same
The
things that they've
old
always been teaching
shit.
them. So I 100% agree. I think kids need to be more open to those things, to be aware.
because they're happening, right? Like
Because it is happening.
Yeah.
But the backlash from parents, though.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
backlash from parents were like, "What is this?" Especially,
What age? Are they
especially
gonna do this?
religiously devout parents too.
Yeah.
Like particularly from like, I'm just speaking from my corner, like the South Asian demographic. They were like up in flames. Like they were like, no, like our children should be learning about these things at school, like transgendered, like neutral and consent, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can see how that traditional kind of mindset clouds the overall, like the benefits of teaching our children these things.
Yeah.
But man, I think things like consent, especially, those things are super important. Because I do think back in our day,
People got taken advantage of.
absolutely. I think back in our day, I think there were tons of instances where.
Well, mainly girls. Like,
Yeah, no. I think there were tons of instances where young girls our age, at the time, were not being like. Well, of course, it does happen, but not being like raped. But there were other instances where there was a gray line where they were just submitting.
Yeah.
You know, like they were just saying like, okay, like to kind of make the other party happy or like make their boyfriends happy, or you know what I mean, or just like just kind of submitting, thinking that, oh, this is a rite of passage, I'm supposed to be okay with this, or just things like that, right? So I think that's super
like
important.
feeling forced, but just
not
giving
exactly,
up.
but just submitting, or being coerced. Or just being coerced, you know, like yo, like you know, I loved you, like I love you, and like this is a relationship, and blah blah blah. Just being like, kind of like persuaded against their own will.
You know
right?
what? No, that's part of the game.
Yeah,
that
Is it though? Like
That part.
yikes! Like is it? I don't
but you're
know.
making it sound rapey.
Well,
You're
but
making it
it's
sound
sort of
rapey.
like
What
when
he's
you
saying
think
is-
about it,
Okay,
it
we're
is,
talking
though.
about teenage kids.
Okay.
When we were teenagers.
Yeah. But you're supposed to persuade a girl.
Oh, are you though?
Are you?
Yeah,
Like, are you supposed to persuade?
Isn't that
her?
what
you know,
seduction is?
I'm not saying like pull her hand and be like, yo, just put it here for a second. Like, no, I'm not saying like
But
that.
like, are you supposed to be like sitting there breaking it down like an essay for 20 minutes? Like, this is why we should gang? Like,
Oh, like this is why? Like here's a list of why we should do this?
And
Like,
please sign at the bottom.
okay, well, what did you have in mind?
I'm just saying, like, you know, it's
Like,
Pull
you're,
out
like,
your
you're
dick.
like finessing them, like you're seducing them, like
more of
Game,
like
you
seduction.
you're
spitting game.
Yeah.
Not
Okay, so
just
let's
like
have a
you
conversation
put
right
them
now.
on-
What's where do we draw the line between spitting game and seducing, and
Okay.
you know, doing all that rapey shit that
Alright,
you're just
I see.
talking about?
It's a fine line, my friend.
Oh, the thing is, so you never know with two 15-year-olds. Like, let's say, just take two 15-year-olds and one.
Okay,
one
we're talking
kid.
about, okay, so we're talking about strictly 50.
We're talking about young kids. We're talking about kids in high school. We're talking about kids in high school.
Because this is relating back to the sex education stuff.
Right.
And so those people that are being
Alright,
those kids that are
let's
being
talk
exposed to
now.
those. So, if we're talking about like high school children,
They're learning.
No, but you're learning about it earlier than when you're
high
15.
school children.
Yeah, but I mean, like when they're actually starting to talk to
Adolescents.
girls or whatever, 15 or 16.
yo, I lost my card when I was 14.
And you're trying to get yours.
I was mad
Basically.
young. You know what I mean?
Right.
Did you coerce somebody?
And the thing is that
Speak up.
Or did
Well,
you
yeah,
like-
or
you know, and that's what I'm saying though, and that's what I'm saying. When I was young, like, there were definitely some submissions being made. Like, and you know what it is? It's like
So what's
because
going on?
I didn't
Like,
have
is that
But you
part
know
of
what's
the
crazy?
game? Is that part of the game, or is it part of the rape?
You know what's crazy? If I was properly educated on consent and what consent is, then I think I would have had a different approach, other than
You'd print out
like
the form.
making and get her to sign it. No, but I definitely was making not rapey submissions. But now in hindsight, when I think about it, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I was telling like,
But let's say,
girls,
okay,
like, yo,
okay.
this is why we should do
When
it.
it comes down to the consent part of like injecting that into the game, right? You know what the game is, right?
Yes.
Like, how do you do that now? Because it kind of fucks up the flow of things.
I feel you. It
Like,
fucks up the
it fucks up
vibe,
the
yeah, I
vibe.
get
It fucks
it.
up the mood.
At this age,
where
yeah.
you're just like, okay, stop. Okay,
Hold on.
hold on.
Are you alright
Let
with
me
this?
pull it.
Is this cool?
Just type that there, and we'll continue. It's kind of like, you know.
Well, it doesn't have to happen when you're.
It's kind of like when you're playing a mobile game and like you hit the point in the game where you have to pay money.
Pay money.
And like they're like, you know, $2 to.
But yo, why are you having that?
get 3 more levels.
But
in
the
fucking
consent
game.
conversation doesn't have to happen right when you pull your thing out. Like, it could happen previously.
It happens
Like,
when he does it.
like, you know.
No, I'm trying to draw
That's
the
what I'm
line.
saying. But the consent conversation doesn't always have to happen like when you're in the midst of like doing shit. Then you gotta like pause.
No,
everything.
I'm not saying.
Right?
I'm not saying like that. I'm not saying like that. But like, how do you bring it up the consent part instead of like
no, it's like if
going smoothly into the?
she has to say no at some
Seduction
certain
part.
point.
Yeah.
But they don't. That's the whole
Yeah,
thing
and
about
then
consent. They don't say
they don't
no
say
all
no,
the time,
and then they come back and they're like,
or they don't say yes all the time.
they come back and they're like,
And I think
why
we're
did
also
that
having this
happen?
conversation very one-sidedly because who says it's up to that's another thing about consent. Like, who says it's up to the girl to say yes or no, right? Especially when you're young, and you never know. Like,
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't think it's always the boys that are being so predatory. Like,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it's the girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Making the guys think like, okay, like no, you have to, like, you need to be like hard as a rock, and we're gonna do this right. You're gonna fuck me like right now, like, you know what I mean? Or else you're gonna like, I'm gonna tell everyone you fucking, you know what I'm saying? So it's very predatory.
Okay. So like, you know, I guess it's very nuanced in that sense. Like how you were just saying, like,
Yeah.
you know, or else I'm gonna blackmail you.
Yeah, or
yes,
something,
that's
or something,
That's
like-
fucked up. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about like a normal situation where you're trying to hit this chick. Like, how do you go about that?
Yeah, but this doesn't always have to happen when when you're on the fucking couch and all of a sudden you gotta press pause and referee comes in and like offsides. Like, no, it's not like, nah, I don't think that. I think the consent conversation should be happening prior to, and I think that's why it's beneficial for these children now, for the adolescents,
Yeah,
to learn about
It's
consent.
definitely
right?
important.
Because when I was young,
But what I'm confused about is like how you literally go about it.
I think that's subjective. I think everybody
Yeah,
has their
right.
own
I would say.
game spitting technique or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
But why does it have to be game though? I think the way that we're painting it is
'Cause-
bad. The fact that we're saying like, how do you spit the
How do
game
you
to
spit the
convince the
game?
girl to fuck you? Like
Right.
that is it. That is a little rapey,
Yeah.
right? Because you're like, you're
Why
kind of.
not just be honest?
Why not
But
just be like?
that's how it's been.
Yeah.
though.
No, that's not how it's been. Like, I mean, sure. but things are changing
You're
now.
not going against like what I don't know, like how to explain it. It's like you're not trying to like confuse her into.
Sure. You know when the
Exactly.
You know
yeah,
what?
That's
you-
what I'm.
Yeah, exactly.
But
you know this
if that is going down, then yeah, you're mind fucking her.
when this argument comes
But
up,
it shouldn't be like that. But I'm just saying, it's
there are
not persuasion. It's like that's the wrong word. It's like I don't know. Man.
where
like
the
seduction.
argument comes up though is that okay, let's say two adolescents, a guy and a girl, whoever the fuck, guy and a guy, guy and a girl and a girl, who cares? Two adolescents, right? One of them is trying to have sex, and they're doing things or whatever, and they're like, the guy's like creeping up wherever, and then the girl says like, no, I'm not ready. Right?
Yeah. Well, she says no. There you
Right.
go.
Any submissions made after that, that's bad rapey.
Okay. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
But
Knock the gavel on that.
Sure.
I'll knock the gavel on that.
Sure. But what 15-year-old boy, okay, is not gonna try and be like, okay, well, like, hey, like, we love each other. And listen, I don't want to do anything you don't want to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that is that's a gray area. Because at that point in time, you feel like you can still persuade someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not like you're forcing them, because you're not like willfully, like physically forcing them, but you're saying like, are you like, is everything okay? And then you're like,
Well, that's where we teach them,
and
like-
that's when the mind fuck begins.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I think that's kind of what's important. And listen, I was 15 years old too. I mind fuck all the time. Like I would do it all the time, and I just think now it's important in retrospect, because I think about like myself growing up. Consent, like I didn't even know about the intricacies of consent. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know about
I
this.
only just started thinking about consent like recently.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a thing in my mind. Like
Right?
yeah, like I mean, for me, there's like a clear thing of sexual harassment,
For sure,
sexual
obviously.
assault, and like just normal shit,
Right.
right? But like now there's mad gray areas.
Right.
Like when it comes to this whole consent culture that we're in, like this, it's sort of sexual harassment. It's sort of
yeah, seriously.
sexual assault. It's like it's kind of, but not like So it's like
It's
it's
the thing
important
is-
to educate ourselves about like
We're
different.
grown ass men and we're saying that. So imagine
Because it could still
kids
happen
in
to
high
us
school-
now. It could still happen to us now.
That's what it is. So also,
That's the
like
thing.
kids in high school are snapping titties and
Yeah,
dicks and all this
'cause they
neck
don't-
shit. It's,
yeah,
just
they-
it's crazy.
they
Like,
don't
it's-
know. They're not.
It's so rampant.
They're not thinking in those terms. So it's important to educate kids early on.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And
That-
for the government to kind of
Yeah.
to work against this is crazy. It's actually so nuts. It just shows how much public lobby has, like in terms of like progressive conservatives, and just how much like when there's backlash on like these policy changes, like traditional parents like they fought the bill so much that like the government thought, okay, yeah, we actually should just not teach them about these new sexual nuances, which is obviously, like in my opinion, it's so absurd.
For them to even consider it.
Right? For even them to consider it. Actually, it was in play, right? And then they kind of repealed it and they said, wait, hold on. Like, no, we feel like children need to learn about these things. Like consent, transgendered, being neutral, being gender neutral, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, man.
I mean,
And when we were in high school, bro, the fluids was going, they were just like, bro, everyone was just like fucking everything, in my opinion. Like, there was bare, like, shit going on in high school. It was like not another American teen movie. Like,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
crazy
it's
in
true.
high school. it still is, man. But I really feel like
Because
now-
kids aren't educated about it. I mean, we weren't.
I wasn't. No.
We weren't.
No,
back
I
then.
wasn't
So
at
I
all.
think it's important.
Like, I don't think I started. Fuck, man, I hate to say that, but, you know, like, I don't. Good. Thank God, because like, listen, everybody should get checked. I get checked, but I was not using protection until like, bro. I think I've only used protection like. I can count with my two hands. It's crazy, like, you know.
I always did.
Like, and I
'Cause,
I
like
made a habit of like. I think with one of my serious relationships, I don't think we ever used protection ever.
Yeah.
And I was with her for like 2 years.
Well, I mean,
You know?
from the start.
Yeah.
Damn.
Or like, and randoms too. Like, it's crazy,
yeah,
man.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Like during like undergrad, like when I just like sleep around, I just would never use protection. It's fucked. Like
Yeah, it's
and
not-
now
yeah,
I think
I'm way
about
safer than that.
now I think about it in my older years, I'm like, man,
Yeah.
like that's a fucking that's a risk. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I
for
just
sure.
think, and it's because in high school, what did we learn in sex ed? Like we learned about like fallopian tubes.
Well, I
and
mean,
shit.
we were taught
Physical
early, like
biology.
by our parents.
Or sure.
Like,
well, sure.
Like strap it up.
That's the thing.
And we took that seriously. Right?
Absolutely.
And then we heard about it in high school, so I always did that. Like,
You know what's funny about that? You know when you say that you guys were taught early by your parents, you know, those were things that weren't really visited in my household at all, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
And I think that's the problem with some of these traditional parents, that they want to kind of blind their kids to it, and those are the kids that are
They
engaging
get
in
fucked up in
those
those fucked up
activities.
situations,
Exactly,
yeah.
because they don't know. So I think that's like super important to kind of comment on. And I think
Yeah.
good move on the government, because man, these kids need to know. The way the world is now, it's like,
oh yeah.
you need to know.
Oh yeah. With all this stuff coming
Going out,
and, like,
like,
you know,
it's
just
nuts.
like, yeah, man.
Any last sleeper topics?
I know we're gonna figure some out as soon as we end the podcast. We're like, yo, we didn't talk about freaking like Whitney Houston.
We got time for one more.
We got time for one more thing.
Just scroll really
Here.
quickly.
They getting rid of the Papa John founder because he's a racist.
I'm not even surprised by that. Like a name like
I know.
Papa John's, or where's that people from the fucking south? Like,
Yikes.
Papa John soon.
you want to talk
Papa
about R.
John.
Kelly?
What's going on with R. Kelly?
Oh, you didn't hear about this?
What
He
is
came out with
going
a 20-minute song called "I Admit It."
Oh,
Wow.
a 20-minute song?
Oh, is it like Trapped in the Closet type interlude?
Is it on Apple Music?
I sent the link to the group days ago.
Like, seriously talking about
It's on
this.
SoundCloud. It's on
Oh
SoundCloud.
my
There it is.
God.
I pinned it. I haven't personally listened to it because fuck R. Kelly.
Really? Fuck R. Kelly?
I mean, like,
He's got some bangers though, fams!
dude, this guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to really...
Joe Button and them, they pinned him on the nasty
It's
list.
hard to support him.
He's the
man.
first inductor of the Nasty List Award
Oh,
on
really?
the Joe Button podcast. And I don't know, man. This guy's just
Is the song good?
I don't know. I haven't heard the song, but it's a 20-minute song.
I mean,
basically, him confessing and trying to reason with the
Public, I guess.
with the public on like all of his allegations. It's literally him bringing his case in song form
Oh my goodness.
to the public.
man.
He addresses like, sorry, I already think he addresses like everything, like,
Really?
and he comes up with a reason for everything, and why he's like, you know, exempt from all this shit. I don't know. I thought you guys heard about this, but like,
I kind of did. I actually did. I saw the article.
okay.
That's actually pretty nuts.
I mean, this is. I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. They're trying to like pretty much say
Yo, he guilty.
ignore
Like,
this guy.
Yo, here.
I don't know, man, but yo, it says arranged by R. Kelly, produced by R. Kelly, written. Like, this guy really put the credits in here like it was normal,
It was
like
all
a fucking
me.
normal song. Like,
oh no.
And he did everything, of course, because nobody's gonna fucking work with him.
I
he's-
definitely actually want to listen.
he's
to
done everything. Trust me.
Yikes.
Yeah, even I posted it. It said "yikes."
Oh
Hashtag
no,
yikes.
you said yikes already? Okay, I have to.
This was like 2
definitely-
days ago.
Yo, they found light. They found water underneath Mars.
Oh yeah, I heard about
Oh,
that.
that
sounds kinda
It's like
cool.
salt water.
Okay.
Like, can aliens just come and murk us already? Like, I'm done with this fucking alien talk. I'm just ready to go. Like, can you just?
I honestly think they don't even want to fuck.
Yeah, they
with us
don't
when
even-
fly
Yeah,
over. They just
I'm
go,
pretty
"Fucking
sure they don't
problems."
care at
These
this
niggas
point.
can't even get
What
off
I've
the
heard
ground.
is that, like, you know, there's a theory. There's a theory
We
that
suck.
I'm pretty sure that everybody knows this theory that, like, you know, there's some aliens that are in the fourth dimension that look at us like,
Yeah,
and like he's like whatever they see is on their plane.
that's a theory. I think that
Whatever
theory
they
is like
see,
called something. Yeah.
whatever they see is on their 2D plane.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
We're in the 3D space, so we're looking at the ant from up above here. He doesn't even fucking know we're here. So, I don't know. That's just a theory.
I'm ready for aliens to just
So,
fuck
I
our
mean,
whole
I would-
lives up.
Like, if there are aliens out there, I don't even think they would fucking give a shit about us.
Like, my life needs to be more exciting. I want to see ghosts. I want to see aliens. I need to see tornadoes. These are 3 things I've never seen that I'm dying to see. Okay, ghosts, alien, tornadoes.
All things
That's
that can
it.
potentially kill you.
Seriously, there's never any tornadoes in Toronto. Nothing happens. All we get is shootings. They suck. Anyway,
so bad, running out of breath.
I know. Anyway.
I fucking hate them.
I want tornadoes. Like, fuck a shooting. Like, it's so, like, yesterday, bro. Shootings are old now, dog. Like, I need tornadoes, I need aliens, I need ghosts. What else? I need some earthquakes. Earthquakes are always fun.
What do you? Remember we had one a few
We have
years.
one. We have.
But it was like
it's like a little shake, like
it was
some
debatable.
pussy-ass
Where does
earthquake.
adrenaline junkie culture come from?
Yo, I've always
I
wanted to
want
see a
natural
tornado.
disasters too.
Yeah, I want natural disasters, bro. Whenever we have a storm, it's like Toronto's like, oh no! Like,
one-
shut
the one we had a
fuck
few
up.
hours ago.
Yeah,
The hailstorm.
that storm, like a few hours ago, there was a hailstorm. Everyone's like, oh my god! Like, I was like, yo, whatever, man. Nothing's gonna happen. I always challenge the weather too. I'm like, yo, the weather sucks.
Whenever I see man's like fucking Shiggy challenging in the fucking sleet,
in
storm
the
or
rain,
whatever,
I know. You know it's
then I'll be like, yeah, all right. All right.
Go home
Let's-
and I didn't do my
Alright.
podcast. All I seen the podcast about was you.
all right.
All right,
Well,
are we
keep
saying,
going,
are we
keep
saying
going.
peace out? Yeah,
Yeah.
Or are you gonna
Hey,
take down the
we're
video
talking
like
about
in mid-air right
aliens.
now?
We're talking about natural disasters. I think we covered it.
All right, peace. Boof has to go to work, so he's getting up on the chair.
Fuck.